A Utah mental health counselor has been sent to prison for defrauding his own mother. Today on Rational Lunatic Media. How y'all doing this morning? I hope you're doing well. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button, punch that little bing notification bell so you can stay up to date on my latest content. If you're on TikTok and this video goes a little too long, jump over to YouTube, catch all the content there and some that's too long for here, but you can also catch the full length of my content. I had one yesterday, it was an hour and a half. Couldn't post it on here on TikTok anyway. It's so this video's on that video's on YouTube. Anyhow, if you want to know about really creepy, disgusting cops, judges, officials doing really creepy and disgusting things, jump over to my Patreon where you can get my not safe for life news. $5 a month, members only. That being said, not my last video, but the one before that. I'm just posting all these three today. But my first video, a couple of videos ago, I would usually put on Patreon. I put it on TikTok and YouTube because it needs to be exposed. It's about a family social worker or a family psychologist who was charged with 3 counts of CP, downloading CP. Um, his case was dismissed because they failed to read his Miranda rights. So he had his license reinstated. He lives in Bluffdale, Utah. Okay? That's where he worked. That's where he was charged with his crimes at. So I'm assuming that's where he lives. All right? Um, check out that video. It has his name, his age. Um, but it needs to be exposed because people in that area, if you know anybody that lives in Bluffdale, Utah, you need to share that video with them, or just Google the story yourself and let them know. If you don't like me, if you think my videos are garbage, whatever, just let people in the area know. So when he does start his own clinic again or gets hired on somewhere else, um, they don't take their children to this guy. This is a sick individual. He's 38 years old. I forget his name, but it's in the video. Go check it out. I'm only doing that, like I said, I would usually put it on Patreon, but the fact that I'm still building Patreon, I don't have any subscribers on it yet. Um, this video or that story needs to get put out there because this is a very fresh case, and this guy needs to be known. He needs to be known, just flat out. Anyway, sorry for the rant, but I'm very serious about that. Like that kind of stuff. Like frustrates me, pisses me off, scares me because potentially he has the potential now to hurt anyone else. They had the chance to stop him and they didn't. But anyway, with that being said, let's get into this one, shall we? All right. Stupid notifications. Okay. A Utah mental health counselor has been sent to prison for financially abusing his vulnerable mother. Vernal, Utah. A mental health counselor has been sentenced to a term of 1 to 15 years in prison for a second conviction of exploiting a vulnerable adult. The victim in both cases was his mother. Investigators say he charged her more than $15,000 for mental health services during a week-long visit. Who visits their mom and charges them anything? You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm here to help you, mother. You know what I mean? I am licensed to do this, so I'm gonna make sure I do a good job for you. By the way, that's gonna be 40 hours plus all the overtime, 7 days straight, day and night. About $15,000, mom. No problem. You got that right. Take it out of my inheritance. God. Mannix George Glines, age 50, was ordered last week by the 8th District Court to pay over $60,000 in restitution to his mother. That's awesome. To repay the money he took from her. That is awesome. That's awesome. Stealing from or abusing anyone vulnerable is abhorrent, but to couple that abuse of trust with the exploitation of a family member is truly reprehensible, the Utah Attorney General's office said in a statement. Charges were filed against Glines in November 2022 by the Medicaid Fraud and Patient Abuse Division of the Attorney General's Office, and he pleaded guilty to one count of financial exploitation, a second-degree felony, on January 3rd, 2024. Glines was a signer on his mother's bank accounts from August 2020 to April of 2022, and during that time took funds from her account to benefit himself or others, charging documents state. In an earlier case, Glines charged his mother $15,360 for his services as a licensed clinical social worker while he went to visit her in Arizona. Shortly after, doctors determined she was not able to make her own medical decisions. In early of 2020, the charges stated. He charged her $120 per hour at 16 hours per day for 8 days. God dang. He spent with her for 8 days, he spent with her over 2 trips. Charging documents say, adding that he also took money from her for travel expenses. So he did like what you get like per diem or whatever. He charged her per diem rates and plus traveling expenses. Like, you're gonna pay for my room and board. I'm not gonna stay with you. That would be what's the word? That would be abusing my Hippocratic oath. I can't stay with a patient, so no, mother. I will stay in a hotel for the Four Seasons, whatever the hell that is, the Hilton, something nice. Not too much, but nice. I mean, come on now. You can't expect me to stay at a Holiday Inn or a Motel 6, can you? Oh, poppycock. God dang. Oh, man. The charges filed in June of 2021 also say Glines' mother agreed to help pay for a home for Glines based on his representation to her that she would be living in the home while he cared for her. Really, bro? Like, really? So she helped you buy a home that you said you were going to get for the both of you so you could help care for her, but instead, apparently you didn't, and then you charge her to go see her and care for her? Come on, bro. You do know that if you care for the elderly, even your own parents, you can get paid for that as well. Like, the government will actually pay you. So he could have just honestly, like, filed her as a dependent. I don't know how it works exactly, but yeah, like, if someone on disability needs help and you care for them, you can get paid to care for them. There's a whole thing. Look it up, man. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue. She lived in the home from May to July in 2020, before Glines returned her to a facility she had been unhappy with after telling her he was undergoing surgery. This guy's a real piece of work, man. To your own mother, bro. Come on. Later, she learned there was no surgery and that she would be back at the facility indefinitely. Charging documents state. So once he got her back over there, he just left her there, and then she realized there was no surgery, or she found out. At that point, prosecutors said he had reimbursed himself more than he had paid from her accounts and had taken money that was not accounted for from her. Hold on, it says to read it, the whole story here. Okay, hold on, let's see. There should be more. Okay. In the previous case, Glines pleaded guilty on December 21st, 2021 to one count of financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult, a second-degree felony, as part of a plea deal that dismissed one other count for financial exploitation and charge of unlawful dealing with property by a fiduciary, whatever, second-degree felonies. Glines was ordered in June of 2022 to pay $165,336 to his mother in that case. Jesus, she just you think he would learn, right? Like he was made to pay back like over $150,000 to her in the first case, and decides, it's been long enough. I'll just do it again. Like what? He's probably trying to get that money back. He was also sentenced to 1 to 15 years in prison. Or being his mom, she probably didn't even make him pay. You know what I mean? She probably was like, it's fine, honey. I understand you need the money, whatever. And he probably never paid her in the first place, and then was still robbing her. Like, probably more than likely that's what happened. I don't see why he would, if he's gonna keep doing it, why he'd pay her anyway. He was also sentenced to 1 to 15 years in prison, but that sentence was suspended in favor of 36 months of probation. So 3 years of probation. So it sounds like he didn't quite finish probation. I'm not sure. Let's see, 2021, 2020. No, he either didn't finish probation. Well, that's 2022, 2024. No, he didn't. He either didn't finish probation or he had just finished probation. But I don't think he did. So that's why he's been sentenced to go. He should have got that concurrent, not consecutive though. He should have got that probation taken away, got the 1 to 15, and then got another 1 to 15, and did at least 2. You know what I mean? Because he'll be out in a year or less, if you can get good time. Unless it's a minimum 1 to 15, then he has to do at least a year, which he should be out after that. He's a social worker. He's probably not the most, problematic, prisoner. But anyway, all right. If you made it to the end. Before we get going, though, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. Please go check out that video about the family social worker who was charged with CP, who got his case dismissed and got his license reinstated. Seriously, that one needs to be told, but I'm done saying it. That's it. I'm leaving it there. With that being said, thank you guys so much for being here from the bottom of my diggity dog heart. I'm so grateful, humbled, and appreciative that you guys are still here. I love each and every one of you. Thank you. I'll never be able to thank you enough just for hanging out with me for a little while. I really do appreciate it. I think I'm sounding that. All right, I'm kissing ass way too much, and I don't like that. So appreciate it. Cool. As we always say at the end of these videos, though, stay healthy, stay free, and y'all stay wild.